Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. I am here with these Scrappy strips that I got by cutting layer cakes. I believe I used some layer cakes and cut them into 2-inch squares, and the way I trimmed those layer cakes, it left me with all kinds of beautiful Scrappy strips, some longer than others. Like I have some 10 inches, and then some are about maybe 8 inches. Just because of the way I was cutting, and I think I have these, some of these are upside down. But anyway, I had made some quilt blocks using these Scrappy strips, and I'm going to make another one. And I have no idea at all. I just sat down because I was like, if I sit down with these strips, I will think of something. I'll be forced to, right? So, yeah, so this is with no thought at all as to what I'm making, and just you know, a very random video. So I'll tell you at the end what we make, because then I'll know, right? I'll be done. I am thinking though that I'd like to do a block where we put 2 blocks together, right sides together, and then on the back one we make an X and we cut along that X and open that up. You guys really love it when I do that, and I thought we'll just come up with a design and then we'll see how it looks when we open up that block. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just stick around. You'll know in a minute. So I'm going to turn the camera off for a second and just try to come up with an idea. I think what I would like to do is start with a square and then do like log cabin style, but not have the square in the center, but on the corner, and then put some fabric this way, and then this way, and then this way, and this way, and just keep building until we have a big enough square. I have to make 2 blocks, and I think I'm going to make them identical. That might be kind of fun to see how it turns out when we put them together and cut and unfold. I know, again, some of you have no clue what I'm talking about. So now I'm going to just try to find 2 shorter strips and get 2 corner pieces. I almost think I'd like the corner pieces to be kind of dark, and it doesn't have to be 2 short pieces because I can just cut 2 squares out of one of these, kind of like this blue. I don't know at all. Maybe that blue stripe. I don't know. I'm going to go with this one. All right, this is about 1 3/4, so I'm just going to cut 2 squares. So I'm going to cut 1 3/4 this way and this way. I really would have liked to start with bigger squares, but I want to use just these strips. So I'm going to start with these tiny little squares. I don't know what it's going to look like at the end. And I'm going to work on both blocks at the same time. So whatever I do to this one, I'm going to do the same to this one. And what I'm going to do is just start adding to this piece. I'm going to put a piece that's going to end up, you know, like this, and I'll be trimming there, and then I'll be putting a strip on that side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, let me see here, scissors, cut a little piece here bigger than that, and then I'll have this one. Oh, you know what? I could have attached it a different way. I didn't have to cut this. I could have laid this here. Just want to show you guys like that. Like crumb quilting, right? And then I could have laid this one here. But I didn't have to cut that. I could have just sent that through like this. Just want to show you there's a shortcut there, but since I already cut it, I'm going to just go with it. You know that goes in the crumb box, right? Right. And I'm going to finger press and finger press. Now I'm comfortable with trimming this like this. Just going to cut this off here to make a straight line right there. And I'll trim it here too. Don't be overly fussy. There, that's good. Now I want to do this way. So I'm going to turn this like this, and I'm going to turn this like this. And this is going to stay in the corner. We're not going all the way around, so I'll show you. Now I do have the option to show you what I wanted to do in the first place. Let's get something different. All of these strips are probably 1.5 to 1.75 in this way, and doesn't matter how long. You know, you could certainly start with a 2-inch square and then just work that way, but mine happened to be 1.75 inches square. So I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to do the same thing to this one in the same direction. Now I'm going to sew. My scissors don't want to cut. They need to be sharpened. Now I'm going to just trim here and here. Let's open this. Finger press. Trim right there. I didn't do a perfect job cutting that, but that's okay. I didn't trim it as straight as I would have liked. I'm pushing back the piece that does not have a seam. Okay, this side's good. I just don't like to get up and use my mat each time because that would take forever. Okay, so we have this now. And I want to make them identical, and I want to leave this in a corner. So that's what I'm doing. So I did this way and this way. Now I'm going to do this way again. So I'm going to turn them like this, and I'm going to sew on this side of each of these pieces. And I think I'm going to just, let's see, what do we got here? Funny, even though I have tons of colors, I'm being fussy. Okay, I'm going to just lay this on top now. So I'm trying to remember here, this is going to be my bottom left. Okay, and I want to go here. And I can send this guy under too. And press that back. Like that. I don't know if this is going to be special or not. Probably not. I have to remember this. Okay, so now this is my bottom left corner, where I started. The last piece I put on was here, so now I have to put a piece on top of each of these. And will I be able to get both? I think I might. Okay, this right like that. I won't have enough, but I have another one like it. I like to trim it when it's still laying like that, because then I have a guide right there on each side. I need to find my sharpener. Well, I think it's in a drawer here somewhere. I bought a sharpener, I don't know, a long time ago, and I use it, and it works pretty good. I'll link to it. There it is. That was easy to find. I'll put a link in the description of the video. Just got it at Walmart. It was not expensive. And you just go like this. You put your scissors in, and then you just do that. A couple times. 4 times. 1 more time. 5 times. And that helps. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go off camera, and I'm going to continue building until I have, I don't know, maybe at least like a 6-inch or 8-inch square. So again, I'm putting my corner, the way I'm looking at it, at the bottom left. And then I'm just alternating this way, this way, this way, this way. Probably only going to take a couple more strips, but I'm just going to do it off camera so we can speed this up a little bit. I can't remember where I left off, but this is where I am. And I'm going to trim these. I'm going to trim to, like, I think I can get 6.5. And I'm going to trim them to 6.5 inches square, both of them. But you can see at this point, if I didn't screw up, they are 2 identical blocks. So let me go trim. This is what we have now, 6.5 inches square. Now, what I want to do is put these together, and we're going to cut one to open it up. I'll show you in a minute. I just don't know which is the best way to do that. I'm thinking I should have the corners be opposite. So like this corner is here. I think I should flip this down and make it like that. I don't know what it's going to do, but I think it's probably the best. I don't know. I just don't know. So what we are going to be doing is we're going to be sewing all the way around and then cutting one and opening it. But here's what we're going to do before we do that. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to draw an X with a ruler, diagonal, like that. Let me do that and then I'll show you. I went ahead and used a marker because I wanted it to show, and you can too, because we're going to be cutting, and when that's open, if there's any line that's showing through, because, yeah, see, because it's white, that's going to be caught in your seam allowances when you use this block, you know, and sew it to another block. So now we have an X, and what I normally do is sew this together all the way around, and then I stick my scissors in there. Someone reminded me of something that I had, you know, seen before. What I'm going to do before we sew it all together, I'm going back to my cutting board. I'm going to put my ruler down. I'm going to take my rotary cutter, and I'm just going to cut here and here. Not all the way, just about an inch this way and an inch that way. And then that's going to make it easier for us to stick our scissors in there when we need to do that step. So now I have this. See, I have it cut. It doesn't matter how much, as long as you're going to be able to get your scissors in there. So now I'm going to put this down with this corner is here. I'm going to put this corner, where are you? I can't find you. Down here. And now I'm going to sew all the way around. Just want to straighten this out a little tiny bit. And it doesn't matter if your strips are not the same width or whatever. It's a scrappy block. And I'm hoping it looks super scrappy when we're done with it. All the way around, 1/4 of an inch. Now we can easily stick our scissors in here, and we're going to finish cutting on the line right to, right up almost until you hit that thread line. Do it on all 4 ways, all 4 sides I should say. This is so much easier. Can't remember at all who told me that. Now I'm going to fold these pieces back and I'm going to press. I already saw it, and of course I love anything scrappy, but I wish now that I would have used different prints in each block with nothing matching. It would have looked scrappier, and also maybe not any dark pieces. Either go with all dark or all light. I mean, just for my liking. I already trimmed it. This is what we have. Now, I like that, this and this is the same, whatever. I don't care for the big black. Well, it's not black. It's blue and black. There and there. I don't know. It just kind of cuts the block. Other than that, I'm okay. So I think if this and this would have been, if they would have been lighter, that would have been cool. And I do want to mention, when you open those and you press, you're going to have dog ears. So that's normal. And then, of course, you're going to trim. I was able to get an 8-inch square out of this, though. So I love that we did this. I just next time really would like to try no prints matching in either block. You know what I mean? Jelly bean? If this was lighter, I'd be okay. Oh my God, though. Really, when you think of it, it's so easy to do. And you don't have to piece these blocks. I just like to do the piecing, and then I like to see how it turns out. I just love this, method of opening up. It doesn't even show that I did that. Yeah, okay, here's how it was, only it's been trimmed now. See, it was trimmed. And what I do is to trim it even, you'll see, your centers. And I just put the centers on a line, and I could count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I trimmed. And then this side I could count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I trimmed. And then I did it in the other direction too. So I knew I was cutting 4 inches and 4 inches on each side of the center, which made 8 inches. But I do like it. Now see, I like this, even though this is touching this and this, it's all the same. But see how it doesn't stand out as much because it's, little purple things and stuff. Doesn't stand out as much as this. So this is the only thing. All right. Have fun with it. Give it a try. And you can try with different width strips if you want. And again, you can have some matchy-matchy, and then, maybe don't do matchy-matchy. And you could always start with a bigger square. What did we start with? We started with this little guy. And see, this one ended up getting cut while this one didn't. I don't know. So maybe if we would have, I don't know. I wish we could do it again. And if we would have matched up the corners, that might have been cool. That might have been cool. But I just picked away and did it. Anyway, I'm going to take some close-ups and just show you this at the end. And yeah, it's kind of hard to believe, though, that we just made 2 very simple squares and we end up with this. Nobody would ever want to just do all this piecing, right? But the way we did it was super easy, and people will say, how did you put all that together? And you'll say, oh my God, it was so complicated. No, don't lie. Tell them it's easy as fuck. Okay, I know some of you just got offended. I don't care. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more soon. Subscribe, even though I say fuck every now and then. Or more than now and then. I'll be back with more soon. Bye.